new information has surfaced about the Cuban crisis. How close it was. Like how close it was.
I actually heard that.
So I'm going to read you a story of it. This was Saturday, October 27th in 1962. So in the middle of the Cuban crisis. The Americans had found that they're building the missiles on Cuba. So they were at DEFCON 2, like high alert. So they were barricading the island, like the water around the island, and they were ready, like, get ready with the missiles, like this could be go time.
Right.
So in that time, the Russian had placed 4 submarines with nuclear torpedoes on it, equipped with nuclear torpedoes that's as powerful as the Hiroshima bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those submarines was B-59. That was one of 4 submarines. So that submarine gets, the Americans find that submarine because it's hiding deep in the water. So they found that submarine and they drop like low depth bombs to like warn them, like, surface now, we found you. And on that submarine, which was built for the Arctic, the ventilation had broke because it couldn't handle like the tropical water. So down there, the conditions were terrible. It was like 45 degrees down there, even like 60 degrees in a machine room. And even like the air in there, like the carbon dioxide, has started to make people faint and stuff. So when they dropped those bombs, and they didn't have radio contact either. So when they dropped those bombs, people in the submarine like thought, oh shit, we're at war now. They thought down there that they were at war. So the captain, his name was Valentin Savitsky.
Great name.
He ordered his crew, like, all right, prepare the torpedo with the nuclear. Like, think about it. It's a torpedo that can do the damage like in Hiroshima.
Right.
So he got his crew to prepare the torpedo. And for this torpedo to fire, he needed approval from the political officer in Moscow. So he got it. The political officer in Moscow didn't think about what other people said in Moscow. They were against it, but he was like, no, do it. And if this were to happen in any of the other 3 submarines, They would have fired. But on this submarine, of pure luck, there was another the commander of the entire flotilla was on that submarine that was getting exposed. And his name was Vasily Arkhipov. Vasily Arkhipov. And he refused to give that order to fire. So imagine, this was all about pure luck. Because if it wasn't one of the other 3, they would have fired already. And if they would have fired, that would start a full-out nuclear war. And he talked that captain out of firing the missile, and they surfaced, and they waited for order from Moscow. That's how close it was.
This is a book?
This is like a paper that came out after because all these papers are surfacing now after the Cuba crisis.
The problem is that's wrong.
Why?
Because the X-Men stopped the Cuban crisis because I saw it in the movie.
Dude, when I read
First Class, X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
I saw the movie. They showed you they're the ones that helps, but they had to keep it under wraps because it's in a movie, dude. Why are you laughing at me? I'm sorry, but
I hear you.
You got bad intel.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's documented. It's a movie about it. Yeah. The X-Men stop.
All right, maybe they did.
It's awkward, I know, but it's...
All right, that was awkward. I just spent time
telling that story. I was like, I feel so bad. He doesn't realize.
Yeah, like, you were holding it in.
I was holding it in. I was like, I don't want to cut him off. He's cooking. I was like, let the man cook. So...
No, when I read that story, I was like, that's how close it was. Like, imagine, by pure luck, they had another one on there. Like the commander of the whole flotilla. Like, if it was in one of the other 3, full-out nuclear war. Cuba wouldn't be here. That would be gone.
Would you miss it?
Cuba is close to here. This would probably not be...
Bahamas would be fine. We put some rum on it. Jack Sparrow would still cruise through.
All right, so...
Death.
death.
Why do you always got to bring it down, bro?
No, I'm not going to bring it down because this is very interesting. What's your take on death? Like, what do you think happens? Like, do you have a theory or have you thought about it?
I'm not
Do you
religious.
think it's it?
I'm not religious, but I don't think this is it.
No, me neither.
I'm not religious. I believe there's something working there. I do, because there's been a lot of times in my life I've been like, how the hell, right? Luck only goes so far. Coincidences only so much. Not religious, but I don't think this is it.
Gandalf said it best. Death is not the end. It's just a path every man has to take.
Were you just asking about that so you could say that?
No.
That's what you did. You were you've been waiting.
I
You've
heard
been waiting.
I heard a podcast this week with a girl that died and came back. And we heard this story a million times before. And her story, it's the same thing. Like, she said she died, and then she left her body. She was floating over her body. She saw everyone in the room. And it was interesting because her brother lived in another town, and he jumped on a plane. And she can see him, but he was not in the room. But somehow she can see him on the plane coming in, so she knew he was coming. And she went into unconsciousness before he decided to come, so there was no way she could have known that he was coming. She saw him, and when she was floating over there, she got surrounded by like entities. She couldn't really say if they were human or whatever they were, but one of them was her father. And her father has been a really bad guy to her in her life, like not a good father. And he kept apologizing, like, that was not the real me, that was me in my human form. This is the real me. And she can like feel that was the real him. Like, it was his soul. This was the real father. And then they went through, like, she told him, she was like, your excuse, like, it's no worries. Like, I can feel you feel sorry for that time when you were in your human form. And she loved it up. Like, she felt relieved. There was no pain, no fear, no nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm petty even in the afterlife, bro. I'm petty. I am Tom Petty in the afterlife.
I don't know.
Dude, what was the reason for him to be in the way he was being to her when he was alive?
He was in a human form, though. That wasn't him.
What does that got to do with anything? I'm in a human form. I'm not mean to you.
He evolved.
Yeah, but what?
His spirit evolved. That was his real him.
No.
Anyway.
No. I call bullshit.
Anyway.
Sorry, man. I'm going to have haters on the other side. I already know it. I'm fine with that. That's how I roll.
You got 10 girls just waiting for you.
Be surprised. I would not be surprised.
You didn't call.
Serving number 362. Bloop, bloop. Okay, go ahead. I hear you. Next.
You never called.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You called too much.
Anyway, so when she was leaving her body as well, like, she felt no fear. She felt all calm, like the story you hear. And then she was set with a choice if she wanted to stay or wanted to go back. And she wanted to stay. She wanted to stay. She did not want to go back because the cancer was shitty. She felt bad down there. She was like, nah, I want to hang out here.
Well.
And her dad told her, like, it's not your time anymore. And then, it's not your time now. You should go back and build a family. So she decided to go back. But before she got back, she got some tips. Like, the thing that's causing your cancer is fear. Get away from fear, because she's been fearful her whole life. She never went for what she wanted. She was always like in conversation. She makes herself smaller, like fear of everything. If you lose your fear, you will beat this cancer. And this cancer that she died from, every doctor said, this is incurable. We can't cure this. She will die. She came back. Cancer went away in 2 weeks.
I don't know about that.
They can't explain. The doctors can't explain it.
I don't know. That just seems a bit too. You know, I'm not saying you. I'm saying the story. Right?
Yeah.
Now, there's been speculation about this, that when you die, there's a chemical release, that you see a bright light, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I have heard of people that near-death experience, like they're dead for X amount of time. Not a cancer or anything, but maybe it was like a car accident or their heart stopped or no oxygen. Like there was a moment where they were clinically dead, not from a disease. And I did hear what you said that she said more times than none. The people came back and were actually sad that they came back because they had a moment, wherever that moment was, where they felt like they were just like, oh, I can let everything go. I can let my stress go, my problems go, this facade go of who I try to be for people. And they were actually depressed when they came back. And this is people, like I said, not cancer. They were like in bed dying, because who'd want to come back to that? I know I sure as hell wouldn't.
Yeah.
But just on like a fluke.
Yeah.
You know, you've heard of people going underwater.
Freak accident.
People going underwater and they drown, they bring them up, and then they're dead for 3 minutes. They pump them, give them mouth to mouth, they spit everything up, and they still need to be monitored, but they were like technically dead.
Yeah.
Those situations, people said, I did not want to come back. It was so peaceful on the other side. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because it makes you wonder how many people decided not to come back that could have come back.
True. Like they were like, no, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
This is internal love is up here.
See, for me, yeah, but
peaceful.
I mean, like, can I look around a bit? Like, I'm not laughing. Can I, like, just look around, see what you got, see how it's going, what's the climate like, what's pop, and then I'll decide.
I don't.
But to feel that good.
I know you're cocky right now, but when you get up there, you're like, the feeling up there is probably so overwhelming. You'd be like,
no, I'll need some things. I'll need some things.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know, dude. Who am I around?
I don't know, dude.
Where's
I
the
also heard
location?
stories like what you said about the tunnel. If you see the tunnel with the light, don't be afraid to walk it. Because if you miss the tunnel and you don't come back to life, because someone says like stay away from the light,
You're in a purgatory.
then you're gonna
probably
live.
in purgatory. You're not there. You're
Exactly.
not here. Yeah.
You get stuck somewhere. I heard that as well.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
think there's some honesty there. Then I think there might be some bullshit in some stories.
When you read a lot of Buddha and Buddhism and meditation and stuff, you go to somewhere where it's not your body anymore, like it's something else. So I don't think it's it. I think our body dies.
I believe in enlightenment. You think that's it?
No, I think the body dies, but I think we go on.
This isn't it. This isn't it. Whatever's on the other side, I have no clue.
Yeah. No one knows.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I made it sound like I don't. Why is everyone asking me?
I was there for a Saturday night.
Yeah,
had a party,
why are you asking me? I don't know. Everyone asks me.
I want to talk about two stories that I read. I read the Arnold book, the old school Arnold book that they released in like 1977. And it's all about how he came up, and then that's the first part of it, and the other half part of it is how you should train.
Okay.
We're not going to go into that because it's basically what we've been saying, like old school movements are the best movements.
Right.
But we're not going to go into that. So the first, you know how he went to his first competition? So he got invited to Mr. Universe in Germany. And he's in the military, and he took the military position just to kind of please his parents, because they were all against him doing bodybuilding and stuff. The European.
Was this
mindset.
in the documentary I watched?
Probably.
This sounds familiar.
Probably, but it was in the book as well, and the parents were against it, so he went into the military, but he got like leeway because he was an athlete, so he can train during the military training, like in a gym for real, because he was an athlete. So he gets invited to the Mr. Universe, but he can't leave. So he's like, what the fuck should I do here? So he lays there. He can't sleep for like 2 days. And he decides to bail. Like, he's going over the fence, climbing a fence, running to a train, getting himself to Germany with like pennies. So he has to change trains all the time just to get to Germany. He gets to the competition. He has no posing trunks or anything. No oil. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing there. So he borrows a pair of stage trunks. And they oil him in. He goes out there and he wins it. And then he wins it. He goes back on the train with the little money he has, climbs over the fence again and go back.
As he should.
And he gets put in isolation for 7 days.
And it was fucking worth it.
And then when they let him out, he gets treated like a hero. They like use him as an example.
You have to punish him, but
the officers like, if you want something, go after it. Look at Arnold, what he did. So he kind of committed like a military crime, but
Yeah, he went AWOL, it's called.
yeah, exactly.
Literally, that's the term, AWOL.
That's it's so funny. But and then after that, he was demanded to train. So he had to train for 3 hours a day, and it was like military guy going. When they went past the window and saw that he was resting or something, they would knock it like, "Hey, go fucking train." So
So it was almost like he was in, yeah.
so he was like military trained in the gym. So that's all he did in the gym.
As he should. That's why Arnold's the greatest.
Yeah. And another funny story. So he wins Mr. Universe for like the third time in England. And he gets back. He's all fucking happy. And he gets back, started training again. And what they did back then, they trained hard in the morning. So like 2 hours in the morning, they trained hard. Then they went and had a whole chicken at this beer place and like 2 beers. And then they went back and trained for 2 hours. And he was like, I need to change my approach a little bit because I'm not growing that much. I need to shock the body. So he and a buddy took a barbell. They settled on one movement. And they went into the woods. And they were doing, say there was back squats. They were doing back squats for 3 hours in the woods.
It's a bit much.
And they did that once a week. So the next week they did bench press for 3 hours. Next week they did like overhead presser for 3 hours.
But it's not 3 hours continuously.
No, one work, one rest. And
Yeah.
so they did like
Because you know for
crazy
growth, you
amount of
need to
sets.
rest a little bit.
Yeah, crazy amount of sets. And then after a while it became like a party. So they brought girls out there. They were grilling. They were drinking wine. They were banging. And they were just...
While they're doing bench press.
So they were just doing bench press. Just
There's like-
sitting
there-
down by the grill,
there-
drinking
there's-
wine and then banging chicks.
There's no holes in that.
It's so
There's
fun.
no holes in that.
And like, it sounds so ridiculous, but it's Arnold and he looks so good. So it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah. I just thought it was so funny that they made a party out of it. Him, his boy, and they brought like 7 girls. Did barbecue, drank wine,
Got
made
it.
love. It's
Got
in
it. Got it.
in the book.
All right.
So yeah, so if you want to grow, go into the woods, do back squats for 3 hours, bring girls.
With women and beer and grill.
Yeah.
What I tell you before your race today? What conversation did we have when we were in the car? What did I tell you before we got there?
I don't know. You tell me.
What did I tell you?
You tell me a lot of motivating shit.
I said
Go
it
get
doesn't
him.
matter if you win or lose. I just want you to have a good time. Everybody's a winner. Get your little trophy because everyone's gonna get one. I was like, don't stand out. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, you're a unique little snowflake.
I didn't listen.
And I think I called you Sugar Bear. I was like, take
I'm
it.
pretty sure Sugar Bear was in there.
Yeah. You're special, you're unique, and you're different from everybody else, okay?
You were a champ this morning, though, because you brought coffee.
It's not about winning or losing. It's how you play the game. I had to make that clear to you. And you took it literally.
No, it's so...
And you came in last.
It's so fun. No, I didn't come in last. Came in top 20.
If you're not first, you're last. You never heard Ricky Bobby say
This
that?
is true, but it's so funny when we talked about the marathon earlier this week, and you were like, "Are you gonna win it?" Like, that's not how half marathons work. Like, there's the runners out there.
Bro, I tell you right now, there was a guy that heard me because he came in 20, 25 minutes before all of you. He was like, I'm winning, and that's what it's all about.
Okay,
And he walked in, took his trophy, people were clapping, and he walked off.
let me ask you this: how did he look? Did he look like he can go and deadlift 200?
Yeah,
kg?
actually, he looked like, I thought it was like Matt Frazier walking by.
Was he built like a power lifter?
Yeah.
No,
He was.
no,
Dude, he had the belt on while he was running.
You're talking shit.
And I got so motivated that I went online right there and I signed up for an Ironman. 3 weeks from now.
I would support you.
3 weeks from now. I'm gonna,
I would
3
hold,
weeks from now.
I would hold your bag.
But it's a low-key one. It's like a Fight Club Ironman. Like, you don't talk about it. You just do it.
Perfect
So
location.
I'll tell you afterwards.
to do an Ironman would be Long Island. Like, you can do a swim in the ocean, you can bike like back and forth, and then you can run it. That would be a perfect location for an Ironman.
Have to be in the winter, though. People would die in the summer.
Yeah, summer would not be a good look. Would not be a good look. All right, and back to my race, because we've been talking about this race forever. So people want to know how it went, probably, or not.
No, you want people to know how it went.
So
You're like, hi, today you're walking around, hi. I ran a marathon, hi. I live in the Bahamas, hi. My name is Tom. People are like, we don't fucking care. You're like, You're becoming friends with everybody.
Yeah, today
dude.
I
You're like a
talk with
10-year-old. Hi.
Is it? That's like
It's funny.
a
I
full
love
360.
I love being on the other side of the room and hearing you pull out a conversation with somebody. It's pretty funny in the
Yeah.
stores.
After a marathon today, when we walked to the car, I saw a van. And
You just walked right up to them and climbed in.
Obsessed with the van people. People live in vans, like they rebuild vans. And I went right in. I was like, hi, what are you doing?
They
Where
were
are you from?
Well, they were from Canada, so they were a little tolerant.
No. Everyone is friendly when you go up and talk to them. I talked to the dude that kept me in pace when he came
All
walking.
right.
I was like, hey, bro, how you go? Anyway,
I heard him. He said, I got a 151. You said I had a 148. I was like, damn, Tom. Are you going to dunk on the guy like that?
Hey.
Kind of hardcore.
146.
Well,
0.17.
Exactly. I was like, okay.
Don't ever throw
you were letting
148 out there.
everybody know today.
So,
Why aren't you wearing your trophy?
I should have worn my trophy.
I actually would have, if someone would have asked me, I'd be like, absolutely he's going to wear it. I would have lost that bet.
I should have worn my trophy to the podcast.
It's like a dinner plate. It's huge.
I don't even know if I can bring it to Long
Do
Island.
customs.
No.
Need a whole ticket for it, whole other
Yeah,
seat.
exactly. I need a separate bag for that bad boy.
You did good today, though. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I want to take it back to this week, like leading up to the marathon, because when we got here, we went to whole. You must probably think I'm the borest fucking guy to travel with, because I bought everything, my whole food, and I food prepped for the week because I wanted to stay serious for my run. Anyway, I go to bed. Like first 2 nights I sleep like shit, but then I start to get my recovery up. I sleep well, I recover well, so I'm kind of excited for this race. And then the night before the half marathon, we crushed a big ass pizza from Papa John's. I mean, I did a large one, 14-inch, big ass pizza, and that was a mistake because all through the night, last night when leading up to the marathon, I woke up like 3-4 times sweating. I had to go piss. I had to go drink because it felt like cotton in my mouth because it's so much salt and bread, and my body didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I probably made a mistake by going so clean until the last night. Anyway, so I woke up in the red. Recovery was shit, but I started preparing. And it was raining also the day before, so I was like, shit, is it going to rain this race? But we get there. It's a running events right now. It's like a dating event. You and I said that when we got there. It's like you mingling with girls. It's like that's like the new place where you meet people now.
So you
Running
did it.
clubs
You did
and
it to
running
meet
events.
girls. I thought you were trying to challenge yourself.
No, that's two.
It was like being on Planet Soy, though.
What do you mean? Talk to me.
I don't know. Wasn't much testosterone around there.
That's why your boy was there. To even out the odds.
Like I said, there wasn't much testosterone around there.
That's why you boy stepped up to even out the odds. We get there in the morning. Maurice is a champ. He's up. He's driving me there. He's getting me coffee. Fucking champ. Appreciate you, bro. And so we start warming up. And before we start the race, of course they're doing the American anthem. And I take my hat off.
Did you cry?
Put my hand to my heart. Goosebumps. It's not even my country.
You thought you were getting sworn in.
It's not even my country. Goosebumps. Almost crying. Like, this is so cool. And the guy that was singing this was crushing it. So adrenaline is up, everyone is cheering, and then go. First kilometer, I swear to God, I thought I wasn't going to make the race. First kilometer was probably the worst running kilometer I ever done. Running. Everything felt like shit. My knees were hurting, my feet were hurting, my back was hurting. I was like in zone 5, which is high, over 165, immediately. So that was my first kilometer. I was like, what the fuck? This is going to be a long race. But then like kilometer 2 or 3, I met this Norwegian girl that was running, so I ran with her for a bit. We were talking. And then after that, for maybe 4 or 5, I just felt good again. and then I could just go. So I have to leave that girl because he was not keeping pace. So I could just go. And I felt so good. But this is the thing with running.
You didn't work hard enough.
No, you keep saying that. This is the thing with running.
After the race, you're like, I felt good. Did I work hard enough? I'm like, clearly not.
No, you saw when I crossed the line, I was beat. But here's the thing. When you're running a long event like that half marathon, you can feel good, but you know somewhere down the line the wall is coming. And mine came at with 6 kilometers left. That's when it was struggle. So when I had 6 kilometers left, 4 of those, that was a blacked out. That was just me against darkness. And I raw dogged it as well. No headphones, no nothing. So it was just keep this. Just keep this. Everything I said to myself was, you're chilling, Tom. You're chilling. That's all I said to myself for 4 kilometers. Then the last 2 is just, you're so close by then, so you just go. But they also fucked up. Because the race was 22 or 23 kilometers. So the official time on the website is not the time I got on my watch for a half marathon. So my time was 1:46.17, and my goal was going on the 1:50. So I'm pretty happy with that.
So you got in there.
Yeah,
There was definitely some intense people there.
definitely. Dude, the leading group.
There was one
they
guy,
took
he must
off.
have been on all the Red Bulls because he was running back and forth. He was cheering people on. He wasn't even in the race.
Really?
And he was just running back and forth. He's like, woo! And it was must have been 25, 26. I'm like, yeah, you're on all the Adderall.
All the Red Bulls. That's a funny thing.
He was all in.
There was a bunch of people sitting there the whole race and just cheering for everyone.
Yeah.
One lady, she had no energy, but she had a cowbell. She was sitting like this the whole race. No energy. There wasn't even cheering on everyone. Just a cowbell like this.
There was a lady before you that got there, and she was pushing a stroller. Her
saw
kid
that.
must have been 4. She was fit.
Yeah.
She must have been in her 30s
Yeah.
easily, and she just blew through.
I saw
She
one.
was the 3rd woman, I think. So
Oh, really?
pushing
She was in before me?
pushing a stroller. Yeah,
She was in before me?
yeah. Because I walked off when you showed up, then I followed you, and then we left. We didn't hang out afterwards. This was way before you. This was maybe 5-10 minutes before you.
We fucked up a little bit because I won a prize. It was 30 my age category, and you win a
What'd
prize.
you win?
Like a bag or something. I didn't pick it up
Why not?
because we got the fuck out of there.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I just
Could
realized
have got
that
some gel packs and nipple chalk.
I had nipple tape. It worked.
You had Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
Did it really? That's too funny.
It worked. It worked like a charm. And I bought these waterproof Band-Aids. Put over my nipples. Best thing ever. But I fucked up though because I should have put it on my shorts, the numbers, because I really want to take my tank top off. Halfway in, I run better shirt off. That's the Bahamas way.
That's got to suck, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't take it off because I have my numbers here. And then
How many people do you think were there today?
I think it said 168.
It felt like more than that. It was there was a large
Yeah, but
group of people.
It was a 5K also. It was a 5K and a half marathon. 168 people ran the half marathon.
Because a lot of people warmed up on the beach, and then they started the race.
Yeah, it was like a mass start. So the first 5 kilometers we ran with the 5K people. And once they were out of the way, it was just a half marathon people. And some people, I don't know why they signed it. People walked it. Like you pay an entrance fee and you walk. I don't know why you do that, but I guess.
Well, I actually think I did see some people that were in it, but they didn't have numbers. They just want to see how they do. Like they didn't pay anything.
Yeah.
They just ran it with you.
Yeah, that's smart.
And they just looked at their clock and they
Or-
came in. Like
or-
one guy actually came in. I think one guy was doing it and he came in 5th and he wasn't even
Really?
signed up. I think it was just some guy. I almost got the impression that he was training for something bigger. I don't know. He just kind of looked the part and he was kind of mellow. He was fit. He had a triathlete build kind of a thing. And I'm like, if I would have bet on him, I would have said that he was there training for he's training for something bigger than a half marathon. But I think he just did that just to do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But he was like the fourth one in, and he was next to the guys that were doing, the ones that had the numbers on them.
Yeah.
And he was fit, and I was like, oh, that must be what he's doing.
I can see that's a good like test because it was very flat. Like marathons, different marathons have different layouts. Some are a lot of elevation. This one was just flat. You went 4 laps back and forth.
Yeah.
Like this on a beach. So it was flat all the way. So I can see it being like a good, where you can test your times without hurting yourself. Because when you do elevation, that's a whole different ballgame.
Well, on your breathing alone.
Oh, yeah.
I used to go to, whenever I would leave the Bahamas and go to Utah, it's way up there. It's like I start pulling on a rower, I'm like,
yeah.
Like it just
Oh,
took,
elevation in the area.
Yeah, just take it out of you, man. It takes like 2 or 3 days. Like you're tired, you're drowsy. Yeah.
I'm just meaning elevation, like you uphill, down.
No, I'm saying, but can you imagine people that train at water level, like you did today, and then you went and did a marathon in Utah at a higher altitude?
Oh yeah.
It's a whole different.
That would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck.
So,
I think it's good that I trained though in a warm climate because it was pretty cold this morning. So the breathing is pretty good. But I was in zone 5 immediately anyway. My training went out of every. I had my training to lean on because I knew what everything was. When I was hurting, it was like I've been here before. I'm pretty good at feeling when my body's shutting down, when my legs are going. I started freezing a little bit.
My eyes, I couldn't see.
No, not that bad. Not today. It was that bad.
So aren't you going to do another one soon, though?
May.
And that's in Sweden, Gothenburg, though. Or Stockholm.
I'm doing Stockholm Marathon.
In May.
End of May. So I'm resting for a week when we get back to Bahamas, then it's back to training.
And are you going to do another one in the fall before you go back to the Bahamas?
I don't know yet.
Is there anything in the fall usually?
Yeah.
I feel like the one you did was in the fall.
You can get into it. There's the
one you did was in the fall, though, wasn't it?
The one in Gothenburg, yes.
That was
in
fall.
September.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I probably my goal is to do. I want to do a half marathon. This was my first half marathon. I want to do a full marathon this year. I'm kind of interested in doing an ultra marathon.
You're insane.
Those are interesting.
You're insane.
But
You're insane.
That's different training, different preparation. You need to train in the woods, different shoes. You kind of need a team to be there to like prepare.
And you're going to lose weight and get skinny.
You don't even run the whole way. You like sit down in a little base camp. You have some food and then you go running again. It's like a 3-day event and you sleep nothing. You just run. Ugh. It's appealing to me. Really appealing. I don't know if yeah, exactly. Maybe I need to slim down for stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, the further you run, the thinner you have to be.
Yeah. It would help if I lose a little weight.
Well, for that, it's not like you need to, but anyway. No, it was fun today. It was good to see. A lot of people did good. I was impressed. Like, there was there were hitters there.
Oh, yeah.
But it just seemed like a cool social gathering, too. A lot of people were just talking, hanging around, watching.
It was not a big event. Like,
no, but it's still
wasn't
cool.
Anything like the Gothenburg event that I did. It was a small event, but it was fun.
The girl that came in third place, she was running with her phone like this the whole way. She was like...
Really?
Influencer, yeah.
Third place.
She came in third place, yeah.
I saw when we got there, parked the car, and then went up to where all the toilets were and shit. I saw a guy sitting there, and he had like a camera guy just filming in and out.
Yes, I saw that, yeah.
He must have been like a big vlogger or something.
Yeah, he had his own guy, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a guy. I was like, where's my guy? I wish I had a guy to document all this. Do you even take a photo when I cross the finish line?
Well, the way you put it like that, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Now, I'm not sure you're going to get the photo I took.
I promised my
I
family.
already stood there waiting there for you.
I just promised my family to send some.
Yeah, I got a couple of photos.
I'm the worst at taking photos. I'm the worst at doing anything like that. Anyway, it was fun. I'm like I said, I felt very good. I was beat when I crossed the finish line, but I felt very good 5 minutes afterwards, 10 minutes after. It was nothing like the marathon. I was fucked after that. But I didn't train as good either. I fucked my knee up. I trained for like 3 weeks before the marathon. And so now I had my training to lean on, so it was fun. I'm watching a really good show on Netflix right now that I want to talk about, because I don't want to talk about the show that much, but the show is American Primeval. Peter Berg directed it. It's so good, but all I keep thinking about that is that we really live in the best time ever right now. This takes place in 1850.
Wild Wild West.
Everything can kill you. If you step outside, you need to be on high alert all of the time. If it ain't the people in the town that's going to kill you, it's something outside the town. If it's not people, it's bears and wolves or mountain lions.
Oh, for sure.
They're stressful. They're almost like, you know how a deer is when they're looking around all the time? They can't even drink water.
Yeah.
That's what life was back in 1850s.
Well, there had to be at one point in time where a broken arm could either go one way or the other, right?
No,
like a
sure.
cut, like just a deep cut if it wasn't taken care of. Like, take the leg off. Whoa, what do you mean? I just need 5 stitches. Nope, leg's coming off. You're like, no, really. I think I just need some stitches. Like, I think that was the mentality for a lot of stuff. They would just cut it off before you lose the whole arm, or cut the foot off, or you're going to lose the whole leg, or cut the finger off, you're going to lose. I'm serious.
Yeah, and drinking water was dangerous. Eating food was dangerous. There's mud everywhere. There's no roads. It's like
imagine.
Mud.
I could only imagine. Like that's the thing. You always only see the glory side of it. Usually, you don't see the stuff that now you just go lay down for a couple hours, take an aspirin, you'll be fine. But the other things could probably take you out.
Yeah. So we definitely live in the best time ever.
For sure.
We don't have to worry about when we pass someone. Even passing someone down the street, that
could be
it's a 50-50 if it's going to kill you or not.
Absolutely.
50-50.
Yeah.
That's even generous.
Especially if you're in the middle of nowhere and you haven't seen anyone for there's probably times they were traveling and maybe for weeks didn't come across anyone. And then you see some lone traveler coming down the same path. You're like, okay, where's this going to go, right?
Yeah.
I'm quite sure maybe they were still like, hey, how are you? This and that. But it's like
50-50.
Probably eat or be eaten.
Oh, yeah. You have to strike first there.
Wake up to a bunch of American Indians coming over the hill looking at your camp, and vice versa. Indians seeing them. Oh, man.
There's one scene in that
show.
Free
for all.
There's one scene in that show that shows you. There's a bounty hunter looking for a girl, and he's in a restaurant or like a diner in the town. And he talks to this guy. Yeah, we've seen the girl. Come with us and we'll show you where she is. He goes out. He finishes his meal. Goes out, goes around the corner, there's where they kill him. Like, around the corner and they kill him. Just knives, and now he's down.
But at the same time, imagine you just like ride and you're like, you know what? There's a nice little lake here and the mountains are big. You know what? Let's put a house here.
That's also cool.
Think about that, because I'm quite sure not everything was owned back in the day. No. They're like, you know what? I'm just going to stick a flag here and we're going to call this home, and then we're like, if anyone comes around my property, I'm going to shoot him.
That's what 1889 the series is about. The prequel to Yellowstone. Just traveled up because it was free land up there.
Yeah.
And they just, but they had to travel through.
Yeah.
Again, everything can kill you on the road there.
Yeah.
But once you get there, you can claim your land.
And do what you want, and all of a sudden it's your property. Step on my property, I'll shoot you.
Yeah.
That's gangster.
That is gangster.
You're like, hey, look, like I said, nice lake, mountains, some good soil, because we got to grow food. Right?
We got to grow food. We got to fish.
Some head of cattle.
We need to hunt our food.
Yeah.
People were savages back then. I can't believe people survived back then.
Well, I don't think they lived very long, right? The lifespan?
No.
Just from basic stuff.
It's just so easy. Everything can kill you. Everything.
The hygiene, too.
Yeah. The people even got kids back then. People were going in, dude. People were going in. No. I'm already here.
I'm already here. Yeah,
I'm already here.
I'm being so This is going to be the most boring podcast. I'm trying to be so tactful and respectful in the church. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, me too. I'm keeping it way down.
I'm keeping it respectful, dude. One podcast isn't going to kill us. We're finding Jesus today.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the type of stuff I think about too. Is like, the hygiene, and if the water goes bad, or the food, and do you know what I mean? Like, people think,
shitting in a bucket in a corner of the room.
Again.
Shitting, I can say.
No, you can't.
Pooping.
Yes.
Bowel movements in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
All right.
But just the simple stuff, right? Not having enough wood for winter because you were lazy, or food stored up. Imagine you're in your cabin, it's late at night. You and the family are drinking some soup. You're all freezing, the fire's about to go out, blizzard, and it's like, doom, 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 doom.
50-50.
What do you do?
50-50.
I know what I do. Open that rifle, go right out.
That's it. That's also a thing. If someone knocks the door, it's a 50-50 chance they're going to kill the whole family.
Yeah. I'm a lonely, weary traveler that needs rest for the night. No, you're not. You're going to get shot if you don't get off the property.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, too.
Hospitality was a bad thing.
That's another thing, too. It's not like the cops are around the corner.
Cops didn't give a shit. Give a damn. give. They didn't give.
I think more people are going to watch this just to see how hard it is for you not to curse and hear any of the stuff that we're talking about today.
Cops did not care.
Today's a weak one, but you're making it amusing. But no, think about it, right? If there was a murder, you'd probably have to go to like 2 towns over to the sheriff. By then, they're long gone. Then they have to do a drawing of the guy. Imagine that. A drawing, dude, not a photo. What if you slightly resembled somebody?
Yeah. That's you.
But I think the only bad thing is like if you went in there using someone else's name. Because I bet that happened a few times. Oh, I'm so-and-so and so-and-so.
You can walk the town doors and your Lord Hacken stuff.
Yeah. That's another thing. You can make up your own legend and crap and stuff. And
that's the good thing. All right, let's find some positives. If you have a fight with your girl, you can just move the town over. You never see the girl again.
Never see her again.
You can use whatever name you want when you get there. You can be whoever you want when you get to another town. You just need to kill someone for their clothes. So that's a positive.
Right.
What more is positive? That's about it, huh? That's about it. No Wi-Fi signals because I'm reading a lot about the Wi-Fi signaling that's going through our brain. They're saying we're just to test people for whatever cancer is going to evolve from Wi-Fi. We don't know. Wi-Fi hasn't been around that long.
But you can't
EMF signals.
Yeah. Well, there's got to be some open land. People aren't on top of you. Fresh air. Yeah. Living a healthy life. Farmland. Probably you're growing your own crops.
No sugar.
No real sugar. That was like a treat back then because you have to go to the store and get those type of little, give me half a pound of this, give me some licorice, like stuff like, I think there's definitely a lot of the soil was probably healthier. There was probably like I said, fresh air. There's definitely outside positives. You just got to make sure you're not getting killed every 2 seconds.
Yeah, everything outside can kill you.
Yeah.
Whatever you go on a walk.
Toilet is outside the house, though. The outhouse.
Hey, my old job, I had to take.
I
had to make my toilet visits in the wood.
Yeah.
And I worked at the.
I'm quite sure there's a lot more possibilities.
For what?
I don't know. I don't know.
For what? Maybe if you live in a good part. Wonder how like Bahamas was back then. I don't know how it was here.
Just a bunch of Indians running around.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wasn't the English already
slave ships? Yeah, I mean, but when they first got here, Lucayan Indians.
But mid-America was not a good place to be in the 1850s. That show is so good. I'm stressful all the time when I watch it.
The Peter Berg show?
Yeah. American Primeval. Go watch it. It's so good.